That's preposterous, Max Kellerman. I'm DeQwan Young, and today we dive into the 10 most ridiculous things Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith have said about athletes. And a big shout out to Finnamon for suggesting this video. Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith may no longer be hosting First Take together, but that doesn't mean we'll ever forget any of their comments. The two men have had lengthy sports journalism careers where they say stuff that like 99% of humans disagree with. But which outrageous comments stand out the most? We've narrowed it down to the top 10. Number 10, Johnny Manziel, Cleveland savior. Johnny Manziel was one of the top college quarterbacks, but many scouts were skeptical about him succeeding in the NFL. As such, he fell all the way down to the Cleveland Browns with the 22nd overall pick. Manziel to the Browns? Most of us would agree that that'd be a failure, but Bayless went as far as saying Manziel would be bigger in Cleveland than LeBron James.
I will go right down the list of teams that will forever regret passing on Johnny Manziel, who pretty soon will change football life in Cleveland, Ohio. One day, I am predicting, Johnny Manziel will become even bigger in the city of Cleveland than his buddy and business partner LeBron James ever was in the city of Cleveland.
Manziel's not even playing in the NFL, is he? Number 9, is Stephen A. ever right? You know, the average basketball fan should be able to predict the NBA Finals winner at least every second year, but for Stephen A. Smith, he tends to be wrong a lot.
Inside their chest and how much they're starving for it, I gotta give Miami the edge in probably 7 games.
So why it's a fact. Because I still believe they can win this series. Right.
It's not over.
They lose.
It is
I'm
not
not
over.
like you.
It's not over.
I'm not going to lose any sleep if I'm wrong.
Let's do this.
LeBron James will find a way to get it done. But I can't pick him.
Yeah, for LeBron James, King James, to show that he's got some Jordan-esque skills and Jordan-esque moments in him. Yes. I'm rolling with the Miami Heat this time. I'm picking the Miami Heat.
I'm going with the Cavs.
Whoa, he's going with the Cavs.
Instead of my heart, and I'm going to pick the Golden State Warriors to win this series in 7 games.
Number 8, down goes Floyd. Remember when everyone was excited for Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, but everybody was 99.9% sure Floyd would win? Not only did Skip pick Manny Pacquiao to win, he even thought it would be in grand fashion.
To the end of the list here. Round 7. Okay. Down goes Floyd. Down goes Floyd. Round 7. There will be blood. Yes. 47 and no. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
Hey Skip, TBE, 50-0 in his career. Number 7, Stephen A. doesn't watch hockey. The entire 2004-05 NHL season was locked out. It returned the following year with a new rule in effect. There would be no more ties. If a game was undecided after overtime, they go to a shootout. The Chicago Blackhawks had a historic 24 wins, 0 regulation losses, and 6 overtime/shootout losses to open the season. Smith wasn't that impressed nonetheless.
Excuse me. When it was 21 games, it was really an 8-game streak. There are 3 ties. I'm sorry, that doesn't count. I'm not into the tie business. This isn't soccer, okay? And the hockey stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. Not only that, if you go to the overtime, you get a point. If you win the game, you get a couple of points.
There are no ties in hockey, Mr. Smith. Number 6, Bayless compares Tebow to Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis may go down as the greatest defensive player in NFL history. He had the swagger, the passion, and just the all-around ability. That made him a legend. Tebow, many knew he wouldn't be that great in the NFL, but Skip went as far as to compare Tebow to Lewis.
Ty was getting blocked by offensive linemen. That hasn't happened to him very much. I agree with you, but that's the Ray Lewis syndrome. If offensive linemen can get to Ray Lewis, he was an underside linebacker coming out of Miami. He would have had the same problems. So, Stephen A., I'm going to...
Skip! Number 5. Bayless was a star in high school. Bayless once claimed that he was a superstar basketball player in high school. He claimed that he was a starter, but the coach didn't like him because he simply shot the ball too much. And as it actually turned out, Bayless was a bench player and didn't receive any playing time. Former NBA player Jalen Rose tore in the Skip for it.
Where were you? Did you average 1.4 points as a senior in high school?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so all of that Pistol Pete stuff, Water Pistol Pete Jr.
Okay, we'll address that later. We're going to.
Don't ignore that. Did you play junior?
Yeah.
Did you play JV as a junior?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll follow
What were you?
I think Bayless skipped the line of truth. Number 4, Smith's weed rants. Stephen A. Smith understands that many professional athletes get busted for smoking weed.
Stay off the weed. I have a list of players here. Most of these players are black. Just a thought. Do I look disgusted enough? And I'm going to repeat this. I got the list here. All of these players that have been suspended over the last several years, and a vast majority of them, damn near all of them, are black individuals. LeGarrette Blount and Le'Veon Bell have to be two of the stupidest individuals that I have encountered on this day. And I want a big fat picture of Josh Gordon, next to it $5 million, and then I want the screen wiped away black.
Stay off the weed. Number 3, top 5 NBA player rankings. Back in 2011, Bayless and Smith were asked to name their top 5 NBA players. Even though most people knew LeBron James was the best player at the time, they both disagreed. And not only did they disagree, they didn't even place the king in their top 5.
I couldn't recognize the guy.
Disagree. It's basketball. We don't need to hear you.
Yeah.
We disagree. Keep going.
Okay, and then
Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki at number 4. Dwayne Wade at number 1, Dirk Nowitzki at number 4. You and I agree. Number 5. I thought about LeBron James long and hard because I know from a talent perspective, he's number 1 in the world. But he can't shoot like Kevin Durant. He can't hit free throws like Kevin Durant. He's not money like Kevin Durant. And this is the last point I want to make. It is one thing.
Number 2, Tebow is better than Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is arguably already the greatest quarterback in NFL history. He's definitely top 2 in the NFL today. Tim Tebow, on the other hand, was successful for about half an NFL season, but Bayless went ahead and said this.
you know what? I'll even take Tim Tebow one game for my life over Aaron Rodgers. I would, honestly. I don't even care about the great Brett Favre. I'll take Tebow over Aaron Rodgers. I've seen more from Tebow so far.
Number 1, Smith blames women for domestic violence. As everyone remembers, former NFL running back Ray Rice basically ended his career when footage was released of him beating his fiancée and dragging her across the ground. Though it was clearly a stupid and inexcusable action by Rice, Smith somehow found a way to blame women for cases like this.
And this is what I've done this all my life. Let's make sure we don't do anything to provoke wrong actions. Because if I come or somebody else comes, we'll still have to make sure that we learn as much as we can about elements of provocation. Not that there's real provocation, but the elements of provocation, you got to make sure that you address it, because what we've got to do is do what we can to try to prevent the situations from happening in any way. And I don't think that's broke.
What are some other ridiculous things that Skip and Stephen A have said? Join us in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.